I think if I hear you call me Becky one more time, six-pack, I'm gonna pop your tops. All six of them.
Who are you?
Hey, this is Matt once again. We're about to another video, and this is a paid request from Anabel. Thank you so much for that. If anyone wants to request pretty much any type of videos or topics or reactions or pretty much any type of... You can send a request directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. Now this is for a film called Cam from 2018. And when I saw the title, I thought, okay, is this a found footage film? It's not at all. This is a fake documentary, mockumentary. It's not that either. So, it's just a regular movie. But it deals with a webcam girl. And her name is Alice, nicknamed Lola. The actress, Madeline Brewer, she did a really good job. Very solid performance. And I will say this movie kept me interested to see where it was going. It's not what one would expect. Because I did, based on the title, based on the poster, it just seemed like either a found footage movie, a stalker / movie. Not the case at all. A body count movie? No. This is one that... It's deemed a horror film, but I think that's a bit of a misdirection. I was going to see more like sci-fi. Maybe with like psychological horror tendencies a little bit. The movie that made me think of was a film called Looker from the 80s. Now granted, it doesn't have this exact same plot of Looker, but once again, the spoilers, and if you've seen that film Looker, you'll know what I mean. It's from a first-time director, which I thought he did a very solid job keeping a certain tone with the film that was consistent. He handled the lighting of sequences with some either neon or... It's a movie that it kept getting me pulled in to see what was happening, what was going to happen next. It's about a webcam girl who loves her job. Getting frisky with the customers. She wants to be in the top 50, and she's striving so much for it, and all of her preparation going into it, and almost like the infighting among this group where she's having either rivalries with other people who are also webcam girls, or she'll do private shows with one or two other people, and she keeps it hidden from her mom, but her younger brother knows it, and he's supportive. Not like a sick incest twisty thing, but like, hey, okay, he's cool with it. He's not putting her down or anything. And I'm like, okay, where's this movie going? Just like, yeah, I want to harp on the fact this is not a found footage stock, like, not what I expected in a good way. like very early on, it established, okay, this is not your typical flick. Spoiler on the God, I don't know if I want to give that away either. Like I said, it deals with her wanting to get into the top 50. Certain things happen that are rather strange. I have to go into spoilers. I'm sorry, I have no way to do it. Because the opening, she's doing her cam thing. Her nickname is Lola to the chat. And she desperately wants to be in the top 50. And during it, this weird person in the chat is saying, I want the knife. You know, how about you get a knife? Oh, whatever, you sick, bans them. Oh, yeah? Knife, yeah? Well, you cut yourself. And then she gets a knife, and she cuts her throat. And you're like, what the fuck? Movie am I watching? And then her ranking goes up, the tokens come in, and it was all an act. So she'll do these crazier shows, and the person that told her to do that is someone she works with on the side, one of the people she does private chats with and helped her out. So she's trying to do more and more crazy things. So again, this is not really a horror film. This is more of almost a character study on this person, their determination to rise above the ranks, as well as the sci-fi thing that happens to her that gets in her way. So this is more of a sci-fi character study than a horror movie. That's what I mean. It's deemed a horror movie. I think that will take people off guard. Maybe for that purpose. But it did make me go, okay, this is different. Where is this going? And like the way the titles came up, the titles seemed like it was supposed to be like a throwback to an 80s movie in a little way. Certain bits are shot. Like when she meets the other cam girls, and this, it's not really a... I forgot where they were at, but there's like neon signs around there. And it is about the growth that this person goes through, where she's all about her career, so she stops chatting with this guy who seems nice to go with this other guy that he'll give her a lot more tokens, even though the guy is married, and we'll give him like a private bubble bath. I say it was interesting because most times in movies, when you have a movie about a web girl, again, it's either a slasher horror movie where she dies, or a found footage movie where she's going to die, or about how horrible, terrible, awful it is. But this is a person that owns up to it, that likes it, that enjoys it, and almost like a good version of Showgirls. I don't know why that movie popped in my head. And like she gets going well, she finally got the top 50, but then this other girl, she stripped for the first time. She's like, I'll do this if that bitch falls 10 spots. And so you had the backstabbing involved. Maybe that's what made me think of Showgirls, but a better version. I like this bar club. You have this neon purple lighting, and just her desperate bid to do this. And again, it's like a different way of looking at that world. Plus, you know, the women were pretty hot. That helped too. Now, the reason this remind me of Looker, and for those who don't know, Looker is a film from the 80s, directed by Michael Crichton. I believe Albert Finney starred in it. That was a film that dealt with women who did commercials, and then they were copied. So even if they died, their commercials and them doing other commercials could still happen. This kind of happens in the same or similar way, where she wakes up one day, she logs on, and she can't log on. And there's someone that looks exactly like her doing her show. So she thinks, oh, is this an old show? It's not. It's a show that is live, but someone that's not her. And then it's her trying to get into it, and also how this doppelganger has taken control of her life, her lifestyle, so she has no control over it. And this could almost be a case of how dangerous it is to be online so much, that imagine identity theft in like the worst way possible. And some people might get mad about this film because there's not a lot of explanations as to how or why this is happening. Because you never find out exactly why and what this thing is that's doing this. Just a very ambiguous explanation. But in this case, I was fine with it because I thought the actual story of this girl and her making didn't come up against this thing. That's what I was more interested in, and that was more satisfying. And to be honest, in this case, whatever explanation it would be dissatisfying. It would be some lame duck fuck of an explanation. It was Dr. Robotnik. He was bored, so he's like, I'm going to create robot versions of these sexy chicks. When I'm not chasing Sonic the Hedgehog, I'm going to jerk off. And they're not going to do it for me, I'm going to make a fake one. And I'll be a fake robot, and then, I don't know, I'll capture some animal and put them inside to make them do it. You, a rabbit, you go in there and pretend to be that slutty chick. I mean, that'd be a weird Sonic the Hedgehog movie. And so, like, Attend the Looker, this is another one where you get the idea that this has happened before, that if you get certain higher up on the popularity, and it specifically wants you because of your certain traits or your certain looks or your certain other attributes, you could be replaced. And people would not know the difference. Now, the danger for the lead, which I'm like, okay, so she doesn't get to do a webcam show. Why should I give a shit? I mean, go work at Walmart. Or so, I mean, but the way it takes control of her life, that was interesting as well. Because it gets to a point where it'll do these shows where it'll give away her real name, address, know her family, so that her brother gets teased about it. Her mom finds out about it because is able to show the entire place. Which I don't know how it would know the entire place if all it got was her looks. That's one thing that was confusing to me. Where, how would it know her house, all the other intricacies of the house, if she never showed that before? Because a computer program needs some kind of representation beforehand, and she never showed that before. So that, you know, that now that I think about it, that is a thing about the movie that doesn't make sense. Yeah, I don't get that. I mean, God, now that bothers the fuck out of me. Unless there's something I missed. But I still like the idea enough behind it that somehow, you know, it's ruining her life, giving away her real name, all this jazz. And so now she wants to find a way to take back control of it. And the way she does is actually interesting, kind of ingenious, and also just crazy. Spoiler alert, because I really want to get this, because this kind of sold me on the movie full force on it. She creates another chat, another account. Then she's like, hey, because the doppelganger doesn't recognize her look. So it's like, okay, let's have a private chat. I gave you enough tokens. She has someone turn the camera so that they're both on screen. Let's do Monty see, Monty do. You guys choose who's the real one. And whoever wins, the other one has to do whatever the winner wants. And in order to win, she literally breaks her fucking nose at the end of it. Like, to the point it's fucking... And be like, holy shit, yeah, that's the real one. Because the other one, because it's a fade, doesn't do anything. And then the lead is, give me your password, give me your everything. Gives it. So, it makes me wonder who or what the hell is this thing this doppelganger that just retrates on certain individuals. Because if there was a person behind it, they wouldn't just give up the password. No. Is it some alien force? Is it just some what the fuckness? So again, that's what I mean by how I think some people could get very annoyed by that portion of not having an explanation. And so go, well, wait a minute. Okay, so this is an honorable doppelganger. Doppelganger, this is an honorable one, just gives the fucking password up. And wait, most of your chat shows, lady, is this one view. How does it know the other side? And not explain it means you can just say whatever, but other people be like, well, that's a lazy explanation. I guess I was enjoying the story. I was enjoying it being a different take on this stuff. Wondering what was going to happen next. Being a decent looking movie. Pretty well acted flick. That it's those flaws I overlooked it where others may not. And then at the end of the day, her mom starts helping her do another web thing. And I wish more was maybe done with that between her and her mother. There's only really one scene. And, like, there's no follow-up with her younger brother. Like, what happened with the younger brother? Did he forgive her, his sister? Are they cool? Does he hate her guts? Is he going to shoot her with a pellet gun? What? The mother. Maybe a little bit build-up with the mother. Like, other than that one scene. Like, a little bit more. So this movie, I'm not saying this is a perfect movie. There's issues I have with it, but overall I did enjoy the story, some of the directions it was taking. It was outside the norm of usual for this kind of movie, and it kept me invested enough to see where this was leading to. And the ending was somewhat satisfying of how she was able to get her independence back, so to speak, but at the same time she loves doing this, so it's not the evils of webcam girlness. It's not preachy. That's another thing I was impressed that it wasn't a preachy movie about the horrors if you're a webcam girl. It didn't do that, really. So again, that was surprising but refreshing. And all those elements, as well, it's kind of like a different version of Looker in a weird way. That, like I said, that made me go, okay, this is a decent little flick. Flawed. Again, there's some logic issues and it being ambiguous on what's going on. I'm sure can infuriate more people. Me, on a few aspects. I think with the mom, the younger brother, maybe more scenes or more of a follow-up, like a little bit more with them would have been appreciated. But like I said, I thought the lead, Madeline Brewster, did a very solid job. It's a good-looking movie. The cinematography, the music fit for what it is. And again, it kept me involved to see what was going to happen next. Overall, I did like it. I did like the flick. So with that said, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.